Recreational vehicles are supposed to be fun, especially for retirees and for weekenders. But two RV dealers in Tucson have made the experience anything but fun after taking the RVs and the victims' money. News 4 Tucson investigator Lupita Murillo has more on this as they put the brakes on this scam.
Some Tucsonans say they were victims of a scam by the business behind me. They say the owners not only took their money, their RV, but they also were taken for a ride.
I am so mad, frustrated, angry.
Jeannie Patton and her husband purchased a camper for their pickup truck. When it didn't suit their needs, the couple cut a deal with RV Coachworks on North 6th Avenue. The dealer would sell the camper for $8,500. This was nearly 2 years ago. She says one day the owner of RV Coachworks called her to say the camper was sold to a man who took it to Canada. And when would she be paid?
As soon as the check cleared and when they got everything, some mix up in Canada with this or with that, I kept getting the runaround. So I never got an actual time and date that I was to be paid.
She showed the News 4 Tucson investigators the agreement signed in July 2013. Finally, Patton filed suit in Tucson for her money.
I let him consign my camper under good faith, and now, we're the ones that are having to pay.
Jeffrey Loomer ran into the same situation with the RV consignment. He put up his RV in 2006. He put it up with a now defunct business, Canyon State RV. Records show a Lorenzo Michael Caracciolo Jr. owned Canyon State RV before it closed. The News 4 Tucson investigators also found records showing that a Lorenzo Caracciolo Sr. owns RV Coachworks, a mere 7 blocks away. Last June, Loomer was told the RV had sold. He also never saw any money.
Here we are on March 16th, and I have not received anything, and there have been multiple phone calls and personal appearances down there.
But in Loomer's case, he received the seller's fee agreement from Canyon State RV, and 8 years later, this sales proceeds invoice from RV Coachworks, both for the same RV. The News 4 Tucson investigators probed into the company's past. What we found is that both the father and son have been accused in several cases for pulling the exact same scam. In fact, last November, the Arizona Attorney General's office brought this case against both Lorenzo Caracciolo Sr. and against the son. A grand jury summoned them on counts of fraud, theft, forgery, and illegally conducting an enterprise. False documents like those presented to Loomer and Patton were given to the victims in the Attorney General's case. The proceedings mention only Canyon State RV, not RV Coachworks, but judgments in civil cases hold both companies responsible. In this letter made available to the News 4 Tucson investigators by the lawyer of one of the victims, the Attorney General's office is trying to reach a plea agreement where Lorenzo Caracciolo Sr. will plead guilty to fraudulent schemes and the son to theft. Caracciolo Sr. can face at least 3 years in prison, his son 1 year. One of the victims in the Attorney General's case against the Caracciolos sued both the father and son and both businesses. She won the case last December. Whether she is able to collect the $24,000 she is owed is another matter. Both father and son filed for bankruptcy last year. As for Patton, she has tried to fight the bankruptcy claims against Caracciolo Sr. because of the fraud she says she suffered. I request this bankruptcy be dismissed, she told the court. We have made 6 attempts to contact the attorney for this business. He's not returned our call. A man sitting behind the desk told me they had no comment. If you have a tip for the News 4 Tucson investigators, email investigators@kvoa.com or call the tip line 955-4444. Investigating for you, Lupita Murillo, News 4 Tucson.